Thank you, Lethal. I'm a genius at hooking things up. I guess we probably should have done a sound test type thing already. So I'm going to turn this up a little bit, and you're probably going to hear granny creaky noises, and it's going to be horrible. But for now, that should do. Okay. Yeah, so you guys have missed things. Hello, Lethal. Thank you for the for pointing that out. So anyway, let's see. I guess I need to reintroduce that this is episode 2 of West of Loathing. What else was it I pointed out earlier? I can't remember, but if I think of it, I'll let you know. So, yeah, I guess you guys have kind of been here to see everything. I just didn't talk over any of it. So, yeah, anyway, that's awkward. Let's continue. Let's see. I'm going to wake him up, shoot him, or ignore him. I feel like if I wake him up, I'm going to end up having to fight him anyway. So, shooting him would probably be bad. So let's just ignore him. And we're going to go back to town. And we've got to go see the sheriff. Hey, come take your door. See, the Fricker gang hasn't put a stop to your breathing. Did you rescue my cell door? You hand the sheriff his door and he hangs it back on the hinges. Nice work, stranger. This here prison cell just got about 4 times more secure. Which must mean it was pretty secure to start with. Are there any Fricker boys left for me to round up? Yeah, there's 1 or 2 that's asleep on the job. I'll go round them up shortly then. Looks like I owe you a reward. He produces a big bag of meat. You gain 400 meat. Got another little task for you if you got the time. Should be a lot simpler than the last one. What you need? Well, the Frickers busted the lock when they took the door. Gonna need a new lock. I'll keep an eye out. I don't have a lock, do I? I'm probably gonna have to get that from the ranch. Did you want to borrow soap for something, if I remember right? Trade this soap for a lock. Okay, well. How do I get a, I still need to find a needle. Howdy, Braid. What are you trading? Well, sir, today I'm trading locks for soap, and to the cunning Skinner, who brings me 3 rattlesnake hides. Well, to that adventurous soul, I will trade a fine silver pocket watch. Well, let's give him soap for a lock, because I don't... You know, I didn't think I was going to need the needle for anything, but we're going to assume we don't need the soap either. Braid, though you really don't think his name is actually Braid, takes your soap and hands you a lock. So... nothing right now. Now if we go back to you, is it just the pocket watch? Okay. Anyway, we're gonna go see the sheriff with the lock. Hey sheriff, take this lock. Howdy, you managed to scare up a lock for myself? Yep, got one right here. Hand the sheriff the lock, that'll do nicely. Sheriff puts the lock on the cell door, then accidentally drops the key and it clatters into the cell. Hellfire. Don't suppose you know how to pick a lock, stranger. You got a needle handy? I'll see what I can do. Well, now we need 2 needles. So that's it's not very handy. Let's continue walking this way and head into the bar, because I need to give you a couple of mugs. Found these mugs. There you go. 50 more meat. Bartender smiles. Well then, mission accomplished, I reckon. We'll take off. Because I have no idea. That's some wonderful music you're playing there, sir. That's the other thing I was going to say earlier. I decided to go ahead and silence the music. That way I don't have to worry about copyright issues. So hopefully you guys can like play your own Western music in your head while you're watching all this. I have enough to go get a horse now, but I really want to be able to go get all the other stuff. A bit of a completionist. Hopefully you guys can forgive me. Let's go to the ranch and see what's here. Maybe we can get a couple of needles here. All the water in this trough is boiled away, and there are very many burnt things here, so See what we can find. That was a interesting sound in the background. Something behind this door is making some pretty awful noises. Okay, that's all cactus. The outhouse is the only thing still standing. Well, if you're going to leave one thing standing, I would like to be able to use the restroom in a... yeah, lethal the music, we're not so worried about. It's the walking is what I'm really proud of. Hopefully my stream didn't stop. Okay, looks like we're still streaming. Yeah, so anyway, we're gonna go through this door, even though it sounds really bad. But yeah, I know we're in the Old West, but let's be civil and still use the outhouse. So we're gonna go down here. Looks like somebody was in the middle of fixing a knife. I'll take a knife. Is this knife equipable? Okay, well I guess that's... no weapon. Okay, so I guess that'll make for better melee attacks. Let's see. I think everything else is fine right now. So, is there anything in here? These pies were not safe. That looks like a small problem. This thing looks angry. You're not going to make it to that safe without dealing with it. Well, that safe says something about guns, and I want it, so let's deal with it. Let's see. A pyro bove. Hot resistance of 50, so that means our bean slinging attack is going to be kind of pointless. We'll deal 6 or 7 damage. And that's probably unfortunate. Shoot him again and see what happens. Felt like we were pretty at risk there. You defeated that nasty cow skull floating in a cloud of flame. Sounds pretty nasty. It's the Cochran family's gun safe. Grab Susie's rifle. Well, I guess Susie wanted that. Still sounds like bad things. Is this still a scary door? No, it's not. Okay. Is there anything in there? Okay, well I guess we'll just take Susie her gun back. Man, I don't know how else we're supposed to get into the bottom part of the mine. Actually, I think there was a lower part also that we could go into. Stop, drop, and roll. Yeah, that would have solved that issue. Here you go, Susie. Here's your rifle. Susie's eyes well up with tears as you hand her the rifle, and she roughly scrubs her sleeve across her face before any of them spill over. Thanks, stranger. I didn't catch your name. I'm Eagle. Eagle Walker. Texas Ranger. Thanks, Eagle. Can't rightly say what this means to me. She looks at the rifle for a long moment, then looks back up at you. She sighs. Well, that's enough wallowing in misery. Time for me to hit the road. If you want to tag along when you head west, just say the word. Sounds good, Susie. Still playing to go with our goblin friend. Gary, I believe it was. Let's see. Trying to think of what else we got left to do. There's nothing new in there. So we're going to go to the mine again because I know there was some stuff down lower that we can get to now. You suddenly remember that weird thing Pete said about level 40. Is that a real thing? Where do you want us in the cargo elevator? Level 40. Well, that's a loud thumpy thump. Oh, I know what this is. Strange black chest. Open the chest. Wave of nausea hits you as you slide the heavy lid off the chest. Inside there is a hat. It looks evil. And not in an abstract way. It has eyes, and they look like the eyes of a murderer. And it has teeth, which look like the teeth of an animal that would be a murderer if animals understood the concept of murder. Put it on, or leave it alone. So this is actually the hard hat, or yeah, the hard way hat, I think it is. I'm a wimp, so I'm gonna go through and do it the easy way first. So maybe we can come back and do a second playthrough later with the hard hat. I'm not sure. I've got a bunch of games we gotta play, so maybe we'll get to it later. But for now, we're gonna leave it alone. Let's see, because I think. Lethal, you're not incorrect. No, that's Mark actually took the hard hat and he actually went back and did it with the normal way again because of how much harder it makes the game. So I think I'm gonna leave it alone for now. Let's see. I can't remember. Did I have... Okay, so we needed a key, or a pick to get into the tools on level 3, which is going to get us into the blasting cap storage. So for now, I can't get into that. So I guess we'll have to come back and get the last horse later. But until then... I guess we're going to have to just take a horse. Because I don't know where else we're going to go to get needles. Which is weird, seeing as we're supposed to have 2 of them, but I guess we'll come back. Because I don't think there was anything else to any of this. So yeah, we don't have a choice. We're just going to have to get one of the 3 horses and go. Well, I think that makes it easy to pick which horse. Okay, so you sound like a normal horse. I want the WhiNNy horse. Let's see, afternoon, sir. What can I do for you? Can you sell me a horse? Sure thing. I should warn you, though. Horses get mighty attached to their riders. Once you've bought one, you won't be able to change your mind later. Which one are you interested in? The basic model, the spooky one, or the one with crazy eyes? Don't trust him. Don't trust who? The one with crazy eyes? Looks good to me. I think crazy eyes is going to be more fitting with what I'm going to go with for most of this series, more than likely. Don't trust Spooky. Well, the issue with Spooky was that whenever we first picked him up, it said something about he was really cold, and I don't like my butt freezing to the saddle, so I'm going to skip Spooky anyway. And then also I like the other one's eyes. I just get trapped in them. Give me the one with crazy eyes. Okay, but I got to warn you, this horse has seen some shit stuff, but I'll sell him for 1,000 meat. That's good because he's probably going to see way more anyway. Something wrong with him? I'll take him. Let me think on that and get back to you. Let me look at the other options again. I want him, but I'm curious to know. Is something wrong with him? No, not as such. He's perfectly functional. But, well, he's always sneaking off to Thousand Snakes Gulch to chew on the loco weed that grows there. And that makes him see crazy things? I think it's more like he does it to forget about the crazy things he sees all the time anyway. Perfect. So, yeah. I think we're going to take him because that's exactly... exactly what he's going to see for the rest of the trip. Thanks. Here's the keys. Ride safe. Give him a name. We need a name for Crazy Eyes Horse. And it's probably not going to be Tim. Lethal, I'm going to give you a second to catch up here because I know the stream lags. Got any ideas? Because if not, I'm totally stealing your Emmy idea from earlier. Oh no, CPU usage. Stay with me, stream. Actually, it's probably... Yeah, it's technically CPU usage, because the GPU is integrated into the CPU right now. So as soon as we do a standalone GPU in the reefer... Reefer, weeds, or loco? Well... Those are some interesting names. No, as soon as we do a standalone GPU in the computer, I don't think we'll have as many issues with the streaming. I can't wait till we actually get around to that. Bong. It's just all paraphernalia. I'm trying to think if I can make anything that'll play off of one of the names that you've made. Does that say Tilly Cake? That says Tilly Cake. I like that one. Mostly because we were talking about cakes earlier, and cake is always the answer to everything. Along with Miata, apparently, but we're going to go with cake for now. He's chewing loco grass. He's a stoner. Just in honor of... he's a... You know, he's going to be more into the special kind of cake. He's the brownie cake. But he's cake nonetheless. Cake is the new name. Are you sure you want to name your horse Cake? That sounds probably unhealthy, but we're going to go with the horse cake, yes. Alright then, Cake the horse. It's got a nice ring to it. I can only imagine like a little piston compacting a horse into a cake. Not only is that wrong, that's it's pretty inhumane. Oh, and I almost forgot. Free with every horse purchase is a complimentary map. You got an item. Southeast West map. Isn't that South Central? But we'll take it. I'm gonna shut up and go now. Thank you. Can I have my horse now? It's your new horse Cake. Ride Cake out of town. You behold a pale horse, like absurdly pale. Oh, I like my horse. We'll ride him out of town. Once you leave Boring Springs, you won't be able to come back. Any unfinished business you've got will forever remain unfinished. Are you sure you're ready to leave? I don't have any needles. That bothers me. I want to finish. Are you okay? Are you okay? You sure? There's got to be a way to find some needles around here somewhere. I've missed something. Pete, do you have any needles? See you later, Pete. You guys don't have any needles. You're asleep. I don't need any more hats. You're playing music that doesn't exist right now. Gary, have you seen any needles? Any needles? Don't ask what for. It's probably nothing good. I'll let you know, Gary. Nothing in any of these. Okay, I'm just gonna accept that... Oh. Shovel it? Oh. Well, apparently I can get XP from that. I'm just gonna step in them all first. And you know, we're just gonna run into every cactus along the way. Was there another one over here? And can't go to Topeka. Sir, I hope you're still enjoying your newspaper that you've been sitting there with for probably more than a week now. Alright, I'm out of ideas. We're riding out of town. Yep. Let's go. Who will you take with you? Crazy Pete, Doc Alice, Susie Cochran, Gary the Goblin, or Goat Alone, not recommended. We're going to take the Goblin. Gary, you're going with me. You head back to the saloon's basement and smuggle Gary out under your coat. So we took care of the Goblin problem. We're good. Let's hit the trail. You consult the Southeast-West map the hostler gave you. It lists only two things: the town of Dirtwater and the Manifest Destiny Railroad Company's westernmost camp. Well, thanks for the useful map, sir. Let's head for Dirtwater. Gary! It's your partner. What's all this? Sir, you left me behind with all your turnips earlier. Let's... Day 1, the first day of the rest of your life. Comb his mane. Kick whinnies as you approach. He makes a sort of glurk noise. Leave him alone. What's your deal, dude? Okay, well, I don't think anybody wants to talk. How about you? Do you want to talk? You don't want to talk. Let's talk to Gary. Gary seems like he's got something important going on. Hey there, Gary. Wanting more goblins meeting? Gary is hearing about goblins in an old fort nearby. Fort Caradus. Okay. So... I mean, I think we ought to search the town, but what do you think we should do next, Gary? West to going fast? Okay, a big iron snake to riding. Wacky waveable... What? This is harder than it looks, okay? Wacky waveable... You did say waveable, so I wasn't wrong. Wacky waveable, inflatable, armed, flailing, tube, goblin to you, lethal. West going fast. Okay, a big iron snake to riding. So fast taking us. A big iron... You mean the train? Yes, asking the training mans. Okie dokie. You probably don't want to talk either. This is where you sleep and make the day end. Hey, look, another spittoon. Who's this guy? The old man stares off into the distance, listening to the piano that's making lots of noise right now. Let's try and talk to him. He doesn't react to you at all. Well, I'm pretty unremarkable right now, so that I can't blame him. These guys are having a spirited discussion about guns, and which of theirs is nicer. Which is something I probably won't. How come they're allowed to drink without hats on? Stage, kitchen. Why are you out here and not in the kitchen? Man points to the sign on the counter. Slop 5 meat. I've got plenty of other stuff. What's in the kitchen? Is there anything useful over here? This is where the chef preps ingredients for cooking. It's also where he parks his beer. Which is used in cooking, probably. Atop this potbelly stove is a pot full of slop. A pot stove top slop pot. Which is way easier than wacky, waveable, inflatable, arm flailing tube man. This lady is too busy washing dishes to pay attention to you. The shelf is full of canned and bottled ingredients and boxes of slop helper. I enjoy your dance, sir. May I dance with you? Hey, what are you doing in here? Employees only, bud. Oh, sorry. You know, I was just looking around. So you're the nosy type, eh? Well, I prefer adventuresome. As it happens, there's something you can do for me. I'm out of saltpeter and need someone to go pick me up some more. Lethal, I'm not even going to try. Saltpeter? Isn't that used to make gunpowder? And other things. Look, who's the chef here? Me or you? Okay, where can I find it? Your best bet's a military camp because it's used to make gunpowder. Shut up. The nearest one is Fort Caradus. They keep it in little green jars. Okay, be right back. Well, conveniently, we already know where this Fort Caradus is. But I still feel like I'm probably a better cook than you are, sir. There's a lot going on this stage. Let's see, we already looked at both you. You wouldn't talk to me. What's in this spittoon? I'm gonna do it. This is a spittoon, which is a sort of brass bucket that people spit into instead of spitting on the floor, because not spitting at all is not an option in this society, I guess. That sounds very familiar to the local culture. I say this despite knowing that you're already pretty intimately familiar with spittoons already, sicko. Well, at that point, I guess we need to inspect it since I'm already familiar with it. Look, the Jewel Saloon is pretty nice as saloons go. Actual glass in the windows, more than 2 kinds of drinks, a poker room instead of a cockfighting pit, but this spittoon is still a spittoon. The rancid tobacco spit inside it isn't fancy rancid tobacco spit. Well, you know, it's better. It's coming out of fancier mouths. They probably have more teeth than what the other mouths did. So we're going to continue to inspect it. Sigh, here we go again. Alright, fine. You are now hunkered down next to a brass filth bucket, which has probably never been cleaned or emptied because you're near the desert and the ambient humidity around here is pretty low. Low enough that the spit evaporates nearly as quickly as it accumulates. So that's good. I mean, that means that there's less nasty spit in there, right? Yeah, so that's good, right? See, the game's reading my mind again. No, that's bad because it's only the water part of the spit that evaporates. This brass bucket is half full, the rest is spit. Hello, Dragon Master. This brass bucket is half full of the rest of the spit. The toxins and filth that don't evaporate, several years worth, distilled and concentrated until it's the consistency of molasses. People aren't allowed to flick cigarette butts into the spittoon anymore because they bounce out. Well, you know, that would explain the glop sound in the last one. So we've already gotten close enough. Let's continue to search. You're about to put your hand into a bucket of something the color and viscosity of maple syrup, except instead of maple, it's flavored with the inside of mouths of people who chew cigars instead of smoking them and have never brushed their teeth. But it's... You entice me with the maple. If we're gonna buffer again. Okay, I think we're back now. Yeah, you can entice me with the maple and then expect me to not continue. Glorp, it feels like putting your hand into a bucket of lukewarm tapioca pudding. Except instead of tapioca, it's basically poison. It smells like someone ran over a skunk, waited a week, then set it on fire. It feels like your hand is dissolving. Now we're getting into tapioca. This is getting better and better. Let's keep searching. What class are you? Dragon, I'm a, one of the bean people things. I can't remember right off the top of my head. The spellcaster thing. You found something. You found a tacky, filth-covered porcelain cow figurine, a useless, disgusting thing that will make a great heirloom for your children, assuming they're still able to have any, and you hate them. Well, that's good. We hate all the children anyway. You got an item. Filthy porcelain cow, and it's, like, upside down. Hooray, maybe that'll be of value to somebody. Poker room. What's over here? Rules. Rules of poker, followed by hundreds of weird rules in tiny print. Read one of them. Aces are wild unless accompanied by the sevens of clubs. It's going to be one of those things where you just kind of read through. Do any of these mean anything? You guys can, like, pause on these if you're watching on YouTube. Okay, I don't think it's actually going to give anything. Dragon, it is Beanslinger. That's the class. I couldn't remember right off the top of my head what the name of it was. Full table, and I really don't care to continue to play poker because I'm not much of a... I've got so few meat, I don't want to lose it all. They're engrossed in conversation. Scout doesn't look like she's in the mood to talk. Hey, Gary, you're in here. What do you think of the Jewel Saloon, Gary? Nice place, many people. Gary betting the basement is much nicer than in Boring Springs. Yeah, they probably don't want people going in their basement. No. Gary enjoys the basement, apparently. So if we ever need to lock him away, we know exactly where to put him. He'll have a ball in there. Let's see. Yeah, sorry about your luck, Gary. That's an interesting fight. These guys must have fallen asleep during a brawl. Are you going to try to sell me? You're probably just going to try to sell me the room. Hey, howdy there. Always nice to see a new face in town. Welcome to the Jewel Saloon. Hi, thanks, I'm Eagle. Glad to know you, Eagle. Folks around here just call me Lloyd. What can I do for you? Why are you worried about Gary, Lethal? He's like the best... He's the best NPC I could have possibly taken with me. Who doesn't want a goblin accompanying them through the West? This story all blends well together. Just trust me on this one. I know where I'm going. Yeah, Dragon, I probably need to go back through and play the other classes would be nice, too. I kind of want to see what they're all like, but we'll get around to it. Nice to meet you, Lloyd. Let's see, we don't need a room. I don't need a shot of bourbon because I've already got all kinds of other alcohol with me. Need help with anything? Well, if you're handy with mechanical type stuff, something's gone wrong with our piano player. It's another tongue-tied kind of deal. Infinite snakes. That must be handy. I know I need 3 snake skins. Or no, that was in Boring Springs, so I guess that's not going to do me any good anymore. Thought the music sounded a little off. Yeah, it's not supposed to sound like that. That music we're listening to in the background. I'll see what I can do. If I can actually, like, develop some mechanical skill. Thanks, I've poked around in him myself, but I lost the key. This has suddenly taken a strange turn. Okay. The player piano is not very good at his job. Let's try to fix him. You lift the piano player's coat to reveal the hatch on his back that leads to his innards. It's locked, but it's not a very good lock. And once again, we need a needle. Snake whisperer. So we're still void of all needles. There's a sign that says "See bartender for darts." And I'm just gonna take my worms over to the bartender. Howdy, Eagle. Anything I can get for you? How about some darts? Can I get some darts? The sign on the dartboard said to see you for darts. Oh, sorry, all the darts got broken months ago. Well, that's disappointing. So that answers that question. Yeah, I was getting the worms out. Here's that old man by the piano. That's old Ellsbury. Tragic fella he is. He's a writer and a poet. Came out west to tell his stories, but nobody were buying. Too weird his stories. Fantastical-like. Stupid stuff for kids. Too bad I love that stuff. Well, it don't matter much now anyhow. He had to get a normal work to make ends meet. Did passing well as a prospector until one day he lost his mind in a mind. He what now? You know what I mean. He saw something that made him stop telling his weird tales, made him stop talking near completely, come to that. He just stands there by the piano nowadays. It seems to calm him down, and as long as he doesn't make any trouble, I don't mind him too much. Feel a little sorry for him, to be honest. Poor fella. It's like the bar pet. Okay. Well, do you need help with anything else? Any electric piano player? Still working on it. Okay, so apparently we need to finish that first. I need to find needles still somewhere. Water for horses only. Dirtwater Mercantile. Post office. Sponsored by LTNT. Those are some very expensive flowers. Dirtwater Post Office. If you need help, I'm glad to help. Ask him for a room. Actually, I haven't eaten anything yet, so I don't need, I don't think I need to sleep yet. So I haven't done the whole room thing yet. But if I remember right, newfangled telegraph machines, big cabinet locked post office boxes. Hi, Omega Walker. Any mail for me? Nope. Especially seeing as nobody knows I'm even in this town, and this is the first place I've ever gone. Thanks anyway. Because if I remember right, Dragon, the only reason why you ask him for a room is to get to sleep, right? And that that'll reset your food use for the day, I think. More jail. Clerk clears her throat. Howdy, are you the sheriff here? No, we currently don't have a sheriff. Offer to be the sheriff, offer to help, or offer to leave, and leave. It isn't just for sleep. Was there like a well-rested perk or something like that? I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen anybody play this game. I've forgotten most of it. I can be the sheriff, I guess. Do you have law enforcement experience? I own a deputy. Have you been to sheriff school? Nope. Do you have an existing relationship with Dirtwater's local government? Are you familiar with any of the local ordinances? Do you even live here? No. Then what, may I ask, in tarnation makes you think you'd be qualified to be the sheriff? I just assume you'd take whoever you can get. You just assume that you can just mosey into town and become sheriff on your first day? Well, yeah, why not? When you put it that way, she snorts. If I had 5 meat for every wide-eyed protagonist-looking kid who wanders in here thinking they're the most important tenderfoot to ever strap on iron, I wouldn't need this dead-end clerking job. Well, aren't you, Peachy? It's okay, like I said, happens all the time. Well, how about some help then? Can I help you take care of the counter? Let's see. Sure, if you're any good with a gun, there's always somebody in need of justice. Wanted posters are back there. Cells are over yonder. She points behind her and off to the right, respectively. Take your leave. So who do we have? It's a wanted poster. No, wait. You misread it. It's a wasted poster? Close enough. Doesn't that mean he's not a problem anymore? I mean, I've played Grand Theft Auto before. Poster reads Wasted, the Stripey Hat Gang. For Grand Theft paint and tasteless hat vandalism. Last seen in the vicinity of Cavern Canyon. 1,000 meat reward. Interesting. Dirty, rotten paint thieves and low-down, no-fashion sense hat vandals. Despicable. Want to go after them? Sure. We'll go to Cavern Canyon. Got it. It's a wanted poster, or a wanted poster if accuracy is important. It is. Thank you for capitalizing it, sir. Wanted, the House in the Desert Gang. For mortgage payment, squatting, a general public nuisance, also murdering 2 collection agents. That's not that big of a deal, guys. Let's worry more about the squatting. Last seen at the House in the Desert, 500 meat reward. Okay. You wonder if the house is named after them or if they're named after the house. In any case, their vacation location is ambiguous. Want to go after them? Sure. You take note of the location of the house and resolve to bring the house gang to justice. You discover a new map location, the House in the Desert. Got it. Okay, I'm going to go get this room and see what it does for me. There must be a ghost gang at some point. I mean, I imagine the friction burn would hurt after a while from doing that. Couple of vacant lots. Plenty of available lots. Not a lot available past this point. You saw the sign, there's nothing past here. Okay. Let's go see what this whole room business is about. Oh, I haven't been in the mercantile yet. Hey, Lloyd. Saw the sign out front advertising a room. That's right, finest room in the house and plenty of room for your partner, too. You interested? How much does it cost? Well, that's where you're in luck. The previous tenant was a banker fella, and he paid a month in advance right before getting himself killed by bandits. You seem like a decent sort, so the room's yours if you want it. Gratis. This, you can either spare the gangs or kill them. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to spare them. Because I know there's couple of achievements, like you have to do all of one or the other in order to get the achievements, so not that it's... I've always claimed to not be a huge achiever, but for some reason it's just like collecting cards. You gotta get them all, right? Well, that's where you're in luck. The previous tenant was a banker fella. Okay, actually I read all this. Wow, great. I like rooms. Hey, Gary, get out of my way. We need to go to this room. I'm glad I didn't forfeit my room just now. Oh. There's a postcard on this little table. Take it. Blank postcard. Okay, we're good. Nice view from up here. Look at yourself in the mirror. Insult yourself. You call yourself a four-flushing jerk. Could you come up with something better than the same name twice? You gain an effect. Angry. Insult yourself again. I remember if you do this too many times, you end up causing yourself to pass out, but I think we can do it one more time. You better not insult yourself anymore. You get angrier, or if you get any angrier, you're liable to pass out. Okay, well, this is what I remember. Talk to partner. Okay, same stuff as always. I'm going to learn sooner or later that that's all you're really going to offer me. Is that my status effects? +3 muscle, +3 mysticality, +3 moxie. Okay. What else have I got in the inventory? Yeah, Dragon. It looked like, from what I've seen in the past, it seems like Gary's pretty entertaining to bring along with you. All the other people just seem all downtrodden and upset, so. I can't remember if there's a perk to actually sleeping, and I know I'm going to lose my angry perk now if I do. I want to see what's over here in the mercantile. See if there's anything in the mercantile. Hello there, welcome to Dirtwater Mercantile. Sundry provisions, miscellaneous provender, various groceries, and assorted comestibles we're going to go with. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Okay, well, apparently there's some stuff in here. What's this? Read this to learn a new bean slinging skill. This is a cookbook specializing in bean recipes. Well, I don't have 500 meat. Bag of shroom grow. This is a bag of patented shroom grow miracle fungal fertilizer, guaranteed to increase the size and intensity of any mycological specimen. Gary will want this. Well, we can't afford it, Gary, so you're gonna have to take care of, or go without. So binoculars used to discover a new map location if you can find a high enough vantage point. Dynamite. Well, I've already got that, and it hasn't done me a whole lot of good. Plum pudding. Increase your... Okay, that's food. That shovel I've already got. Soda crackers. Increase the speed by 1 for the rest of the day. Tooth powder. Okay. I don't think anything here is going to be of a whole lot of use to us. So, let's see. Let's go ahead and get out of here. There's really not a whole lot else going on in here. Let's, see, I don't want to waste my thing to sleep for free in there, so I'm going to wait. We're going to go ahead and saddle up. And we know we've got Railroad Camp, Fort Cowardice, Canyon Cavern, or Cavern Canyon, and the Desert House. See, there was a gang there we had to go fight. I can't remember what that was. This is where the goblins are at. And the railroad camp. So let's go. Let's go to the desert house. We're going to fight the gang because that worked so well before. You hear a rustling sound and trace it to a small gulch nearby. Peeking over the edge, you see a goblin rustling around in the brush. Presumably it's a gulch goblin rustler. Always kind of assumed that referred to a different sort of rustling, though. It looks up at you and makes some angry sounding goblin noises. It's saying, "Human, hey what, down here looking, stop it. Jump down and fight it, have Gary talk to it, or surrender. Charge you a wrestling tax." Gary, you should go talk to this guy. Gary, talk to it. Maybe get it to help us out? Gary will trying. Gary shouts some garble-sounding goblin talk that you can't follow at all, except the words human and, disconcertingly, lunch. The goblin shrugs and rustles around in the brushes some more, then tosses a small waxed paper package back up to Gary. It turns out to be a sandwich of some kind. Lethal, for a second, I thought you were onto something with not trusting... I thought you were originally talking about Gary, not the ghost horse. But yeah, thank you for the sandwich. You shout thanks down to it in Goblin. At least that was your intention, and the Goblin doesn't seem offended, so presumably you pronounced it more or less right. You ever been in a foreign country before? I know the feeling. So we gained 10 XP and we got a Goblin sandwich. You know what? Speaking of the XP, I haven't checked that in a while. As you dismount and approach the house where the bandits are holed up, you hear a voice from inside say, "What was that?" Uh-oh. It's probably a bad thing. Looks like you're going to have to be sneaky if you want to avoid a full-on fracas. Sneaky is not my middle name, but we're going to try anyway. Wait, really? Try to get to a place called Buffalo Pile. If I remember right, I believe that was the big pile of bones. But yeah. We'll try to get there. Sneaky is my middle name. Okay, if you say so. Thanks. Let's see. For some reason, I don't think we're going to sneak very much at all. That horse kills me. Oh, so I'm sneaking anyway. Cool. Don't notice me, dog. From the sound of it, you say this doghouse contains an angry dog. This doghouse contains an angry dog. You're not going to be able to get past it without alerting the inside, or the gang inside the house. Let's see what we can find to make this a little bit easier. Because if we can get them to surrender without fighting them, then that would be preferred. Howdy there, horse cake. Let's go. It's kind of similar to beefcake, but different. Let's go up to the railroad camp, because I think we need to figure out what we need to do to progress the main story, I guess. Nearby hissing sound alerts you to the presence of a snake, or at least something that sounds like a snake, which turns out to be a goblin cooking flapjacks on a flat and baking hot rock. The grayish batter sizzles as the goblin pours out some more, and then they look up and give you a surprised look. Hey, what? What, a human? Hey, what you doing out here, you? You two thieving flapjacks? Flapjacks, maybe. Nope. Well, I guess I can talk to it. Be calm. I will not jack your flaps. Did I say that wrong? I will not flap your jock jams. To flapping? Please, what you wanting? Man, I should have let Gary talk to him. You decide that the goblin's flapjacks are probably not worth dealing with the goblin itself. Okay. So we missed out. Manifest Destiny Road Company Camp. Complaining won't make the train go any faster. Is this loco weed for the horse? Can we take it to him, please? Why are we still stopped? Well, I can't imagine why. This guy should never be put in charge of a switch. I feel like your whistling is going to get me in trouble, ma'am. He's too busy playing with his watch to get any work done. Hey, where'd you get your watch? I bought it from this gal that runs a store south of here. Name Buttonwillow. Buttonwillow McSomething. Where's the store exactly? Oh, you can't miss it. It's right in between a cactus and a different cactus. He points to a spot on your map. You discovered a new map location, Buttonwillow McKittrick's store. Hey, thanks, guy. Don't mention it. I won't mention it. Or should I mention it? Let's mention it. No, really, thanks a lot. The man froze his brow. Sure, don't mention it. How far can we take this? I mean it. I really appreciate you telling me where that store is. His eyes narrow. Really, it's no trouble at all. Don't mention it. I mean it. Okay, let's not mention it anymore, because I really don't want to start a fight. She's not getting much track laid, but she's an expert whistler. Hey, you, nerd with the clipboard. You approach the beleaguered-looking man with the tiny glasses. Howdy there. Who's in charge of this outfit? If I'm being charitable, I'd say the fellow over there in the white hat is the foreman. He points at the man next to the huge pile of rocks. And if you're not, he smiles, then I'd say that paper-backed idiot over there in the absurd white hat is the fellow you're looking for. Alrighty, thanks. Hi, are you in charge? I was wondering if there's anything I can do to help. You want to know something? I love trains. Oh? Ever since I was a little boy. Huge, magnificent, roaring iron beasts. They were magical to me like dragons. When the opportunity arose to take a management of this rail line, I jumped on it like a shot. And you know what I learned? I can't wait to hear what you learned, because it almost sounds like many things I've been through in my life. Organizing and building and running one of these operations is the most amazing pain in the ass you will ever imagine. You want to help? Congratulations, you're the new foreman. I'm going home to play with my models. Good on you, sir. We should all go home and play with models. Don't take that out of context. Swell. I like being the foreman. Hey, I guess I'm the boss now? The man looks you up and down. Well now, I suppose you can't be any worse than that last clown. He extends his hand. Name's Smee. I'm your assistant. What's the situation? Well, I'm sure you didn't miss seeing this giant pile of rocks blocking our path. The surveyors say there isn't any other suitable mountain pass, so we can't reroute around it even if we had the months it'd take. Any ideas? Well, by my calculations, we could dynamite it clear without too much trouble. Problem is, it'll take a lot of dynamite, a whole year's worth, I figure. We used to keep that much on hand for emergencies just such as this one, but a pack of goblins stole it all. Sneaky little varmints. Hey, hey Gary, you know anything about these goblins? Well, good luck with that. I probably ought to get it back for you. I'm glad to hear it. The goblins are holed up over in Gustafsson Gulch. It's a real rough place. You might want to spend some time getting the lay of the land and honing your fighting skills before you head that way. Especially if you plan to go in guns blazing. We don't need that specific dynamite, though. Any you can lay your hands on will be fine, so long as there's enough of it. I'll look into it. How much do we need? The passengers are getting restless. Nope, not yet. Okay, well, I guess we'll figure that out later. Hey, can I at least have your hat? It looks fancy. Let's go, Cake. Alright, so there's Gustafsson Gulch. This map. Oh, we can wander. Let's go to... Let's go to Fort Caradas. Your boost sense alerts you to the presence of a rock. Confused, you move the rock, and sure enough, there's a bottle of booze behind it. You got an item. Cheap tequila. Pishu. I think is how you pronounce that. You were afraid for a second that your boost sense had been replaced with some kind of rock sense. That's good news. Hey, look! Another beer cactus. WhiNNy! Let's take it. You squeeze a mug's worth out of the flowers. A mug of cactus beer. Just like the old saying goes, when life gives you cannons, make a cannonade. And, looks mildly threatening. Fort Caradas. Inside. Climb up the watchtower and take a look around. Nice view from up here. Climb down. Okay, well, I suppose if we had binoculars, that's probably where we could find something else. Let's see. Administration. What's in this? This cabinet is mostly empty, but there are a handful of boring personnel records in the back of one drawer. Examine them. These are incredibly boring. No, really, I want details. Pay grade C2. Satisfied? No. Now you're just looking at the same ones you've read before. What is wrong with you? I can't get enough. Okay, so I don't know if any of these actually had anything worthwhile. Beanslinger Division. Killed in action. Well, that's pretty promising. Let's see. O2, but an O negative blood type. That would not be fun if you joined the military. If you ever needed blood, that would probably be a bad thing. Okay. I don't feel like we're actually... This once was a reception desk, but now the most appropriate thing for it to receive would be a free trip to the dump. And I still don't have needles. More specifically, it's the door to the general's office. Even more specifically, it's the locked door to the general's office. This cupboard is bare, and it's also not really a cupboard. So there's still some good mess left. Take it. Military grade whiskey times 2 and hard tack. What is hard tack? Crackers definitely optimized for the shelf life instead of taste. Let's see. Increase armor by 5 for the rest of the day. I feel like we'd be okay without. Stoves beyond cleaning. Black. Okay, so we can't get into administration without being able to pick locks. What's in the mess hall? No, go in. It's not what I wanted at all. I don't think there's anything... Oh, it's a spice rack. Open it. Shaker of saltpeter. Well. Little green unlabeled jars. Hopefully this is the stuff the chef is looking for. Well, at least now we know where he came from. But that's handy. We'll go back to the chef. This was once a reception desk, but now the most appropriate thing for it. I feel like we've been here. Did I really just... I did, didn't I? This is the locked door. Okay. Well, good to know. I'm going to leave on the administration side. That's... Yeah, that probably would have got somebody fired. That looks unfortunate. It's an unusually sized cannonball. Let's take it. Demi-culverin cannonball. What is that good for? This cannonball is made to fit a demi-culverin, a cannon with a bore diameter of 10 centimeters. No demi less, no demi more. Well, that's what you get for trying to fire that out of there. This sign has the goblin word for toilet on it. That sign says toilet in goblin, which makes it seem pretty likely the goblins use this tin as a toilet. No way are you going to go in there. Okay, well, fair enough. Must be the math tin. Okay. Cod is soaked with blood. Based on the papers and anatomical diagrams scattered across the surface, you're guessing the desk belonged to Countess's nurse. Look at the papers. Papers are mostly just boring medical records. Dental... daguerreotypes? Lamentations that antibiotics haven't been discovered yet, that kind of thing. Hey, wait, what's this? This looks like it might be important. Marching orders. It's a set of army marching orders from before all the army's marching orders were march back east, just as fast as your lily-livered little yellow-bellied feet can go, you damnable cowards. Let's look at the diagrams next. Just a bunch of disgusting drawings of sliced open bodies. So we'll leave. I don't want to leave the math tent. Shelf still has some unlooted medical supplies on it. Render them looted. Army field trauma kit and military grade whiskey. I don't have safe cracking. Safe is labeled controlled substances. This must be where they store the really effective stuff. Well, sorry, Cake. No more loco weed for you yet. What's over here? You hear the sounds of several goblins snoring inside this tent. Not bothering letting them sleep. Okay, okay. Leave the tent. Well, this has been quite useful. Gary, can you talk to any of these people? Hey, 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 goblins. Goblins here somewhere. Really? How can you tell? How you can't? Well, I'll let you know if I find any. I can't find any. Let's see. Let's go, Cake. Let's see. We need to go back down and give the cook his saltpeter. You encounter a family of scared settlers trying to pack their wagon to head back east out of Dirtwater. They're having a hard time getting everything situated. 5 mysticality, let's help them pack. Using your advanced spatial skills, you nestle everything into the wagon with space to spare. Now they won't have to leave their children behind. Well, I actually feel bad that I helped you now. 10 XP. Let's continue. If I have any children watching, they probably like me a lot now. Let's see, the cook was over here. As soon as I can get past all the coaches. Hey, hey cook. Hey, take this. Have you got that saltpeter yet? Yep, got it right here. That's the stuff, thanks. Okay, next thing I need is a certain kind of hot pepper. It's called a murder pepper because it's really spicy. Because it literally has a knife and kills people who ask dumb questions. They grow in the area outside of town. You should be able to find one if you just wander around a while. Okay, well, let's see if we can find a murder pepper. So I'm really curious to see what this slop's going to end up being. Let's go back to the map. Let's wander a bit. You catch a whiff of something that makes your eyes water. You trace it to its source, a vividly colored red shape hanging from a scraggly little plant. This must be the southeast-western murder pepper that the feller at the Jewel was looking for. So we're going to take that. Your finger and thumb immediately start throbbing as you pluck the pepper. You toss it into your rucksack before it can do any more damage. That is indeed hot. Okay, let's go back into Dirtwater. That was simple enough. Actually, let's go back into here because that's kind of where we need to go. Into the kitchen. And here's your pepper. Ah, nice big one. That'll last a while. Good going. Okay, so if you're still looking for stuff to do, I need someone to go check my mail. I ordered a new sauté knife, but I haven't got time to fetch it myself. Here's the key to my post office box. Okay, well, just run some errands here. You find P.O. Box 441, the one that belongs to the chef of the jewel. Let's open the box. You open the box and a torrent of junk mail falls out to reveal a knife just sitting loose in the box. You pick it up. You got an item, sauté knife. Back to the chef. Should I steal it and use it? Probably seems like a good idea. Let's murder some people with it first. Head back into the kitchen. Have you got my knife? Here you go. Excellent, this will work a lot better than the hammer I was using. Okay, I only need one more favor from you, but it's the most important. I used to have this recipe for a very secret jerk sauce, but my jerk friend Dave J stole it from me, and then he died and took the secret to his grave. Literally, I mean, he was buried with it. You want me to go dig up his grave? He's dead, he won't mind. Where's he buried? In the Dave Yard, naturally. You discovered a new map location in the Dave Yard. Well, okay. Yeah, I mean, use the hammer to make it work if you need to. I mean, that kind of fits the rest of your cooking quite well. Let's go check out the Dave Yard. And we'll see what we find along the way. Find a crate of supplies bound for a nearby army fort. Looks like it fell off the wagon, or the driver fell off the wagon and was too drunk to strap it down. In any case, it looks like it got knocked open by the fall. You can give me all of it if you'd like. You fish through the crate and help yourself to its military contents. It's not like those army cowards have any use for it. Back east, they're in their coward hidey holes. See, Lethal, I told you, hidey holes is a word. It's a thing. That was so conveniently placed. Thank you, game devs. So we have an incendiary bullet and an army field trauma kit. Continuing on. What time's it get to be? I apparently covered up my my time bar for it's a gross word. It's the best word. Phrase? Plural words. You can just say words and that works. Yeah, I think I covered up how long we've been streaming for, so I know I started sometime around 8, so it's been about an hour. I will probably finish. Here lies Dave B. Died with his boots on, but not his pants. Sounds like something I would do. Let's dig the grave. Dig up the grave, just check the veracity of the epitaph. Sure enough, boots but no pants. We have brown boots. So since we have brown boots, can I put those on? Okay, cool. What do you do for me? One more action point. See, allows you to collect skins from beasts after combat. So I guess the first time we kill a snake, we can get a snake skin. Okay, so anyway. Gary, what do you want? Oh, Gary knowing a thing to see. Oh yeah, what is it? A gigantic poop. Well, I mean, when it's a gigantic one, you gotta go look at it, right? What? Taller than Gary. You discovered a new map location, the Big Apple. I can't pass up the opportunity for they stack shit that high joke. Okay. What do you think we should do next? Bang sticks. Smee was saying all the bang sticks to needing for the iron snake. Heat to fixing. Dynamite, yeah, any ideas? If not a goblins, a Gustavs and Gulch stole every bang sticks. Maybe I talking to them, maybe to giving back. I am convincing. You seem quite convincing, Gary. Here lies Dave C. Went down in a theater. These remains look pretty restless. Let's put them down for good, because I need to fight and gain XP. Melee attack, 7 to 8 damage. Pistol, 6 to 7. Okay, so I actually do more from a melee now. Let's see, turn Cover 10. Assuming the target is a goblin. Let's not use that on Gary. Sure, let's melee attack. Gary will Gary Fu the target, dealing 8 to 11 damage. So, Skeleton of a Dave. Gary will spawn a goblin grunt to assist you with the fight. Let's do the Gary Fu because I think that's probably going to be enough to... That's awesome. I couldn't ask for a better sound from Gary. Yeah, we'll just murder that guy real quick. Press any key to continue. Skull chips and a skeleton bone. I need to check and see. I could probably level up so much stuff right now. How much XP have I got? Unspent XP, 83. Let's upgrade. Ooh, we can actually have Outfoxing 2, which I've required in a couple places. Let's do that, and then I can still upgrade Lava Falva. So let's do that, and then we can upgrade Hellbender, which is going to make magic even more special. What did Gumption do for me? +2 spleen capacity. Alright, it's quicker you are. Spleen capacity determines how many potions you can use in a day. Okay. So that'll give me more AP, more speed. Grit. 20 XP to increase. You have 23 XP. So 30 maximum HP to 40. More stomach capacity, more pain tolerance. That's the shooting damage. If I remember right. Yeah. Okay, so it's spell damage. This is your mysticality. Affects the amount of damage you do with spells and the amount of damage you take from spells and elemental attacks from bad guys. 5 XP to increase. You have 23. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Well, I guess I'm going to be able to punch people harder now. Muscle is a measure of how beefy you are. It affects how much damage you do when you hit stuff and how much damage you take when you get hit. So that should cut back how much damage we take, I guess. So that's kind of cool. And then we could up Mysticality, which will make that other stuff better. So let's fight some more. Dave. What was this one? Dave J. Ra-pa-pa-pow. Feel like I'm missing a reference there, but let's put him down for good. We got to jump on him this time. Well, that's good. And let's deal with this rather quickly. Blast the skeleton of a Dave using Mysticality with Lava Falva, dealing 16 hot damage. Good. Gary, you should be able to Gary Fu them and end him now. Good. Skeleton of a Dave dies. This is getting quite easy. Gold Tooth. Hooray. Is any of this stuff like actually helpful? Some itty bitty bits of skull, though once they were good for keeping somebody's brain salsa inside, but not anymore. Brain salsa. The world needs more of that word. Goblin sandwich. This is both a sandwich for goblins and a sandwich for... Okay, so we're back. Yeah, I can't wait till we're able to upgrade the computer a bit. I think that ought to solve most of that issue. Hopefully it's not actually my internet connection, because that would make me slightly upset. I'm still digging through the menu, trying to figure out what everything is. Marching orders. Read them? The set of marching orders directing a rifle division to Fort Alldead, far to the north of Dirtwater. You discover a new map location, Fort Alldead. Treacherous territory up there. Feller ought to be careful. Will do. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty friendly place up there. And skeleton bone. You don't have a bone to pick, but you do have a bone. Gold tooth. This was in the ground for a very long time, then in somebody's mouth for a very short time, and now it's in your backpack. Can we keep it with the ring? And the porcelain cow. This item goes in your offhand. +3 melee attack, +3 spell damage. Okay, so let's actually take that out and put that in, because that should do more for the things that we actually use. So I wish I had checked that sooner. Let's see what else we got. Anything else? Nothing else. Okay. Let's continue. Because I still need to find a thing, and I can't remember what it was. Here lies Dave G. He was looking to the sky to save him, but even the sky can't save a feller from like 40 angry bears. Well, you know, that's probably not untrue. Here lies Dave L. Died of a heart attack. See you in negative 36 years. So that means it is 1887. It's a good year. Looks like Gravedigger left his lunchbox here. Oh boy, free lunch. We got free Vienna blood sausages and a thermos of spiked coffee. And they said there was no such thing as a free lunch. Well, you know, that's just our luck today, I guess. Especially with all the disconnections and everything we've had. These bones are jumping around to beat the dickens. He sounds rather feisty. Let's beat the dickens out of him. Let's see. 9 to 10, 6 to 7, 16 hot. Let's go ahead and hit him with the spell, because he's the only one we gotta worry about. And Gary, you can Gary Foo. Those sound effects are too good. 10 XP, handful of loose teeth. Hooray. And we can already upgrade again, I'm sure. Let's go. I like the idea of additional pain tolerance. Losing fights makes you angry, and your pain tolerance determines how angry you can get before you pass out. Okay, so that's why I remember actually being able to do that whole mirror thing twice. Oh, let's see. Bean Shield I don't really use. Plus 10 to meat gains, plus 20 to meat gains, plus fighting 5 item finding bonus, plus 1 liver capacity. Okay, let's give ourselves a little more grit. HP is always a good thing. We'll probably be able to use it quite a lot here soon. These bones aren't moving. It's a pile of bones that isn't moving around for a change. Dig through it. It's mostly just boring broken bones, but you do find a skull with a weird tag on it. Skull with an odd tag on it. Please tell me about it. This skull has a little paper tag tied to it, which has Enter Cemetery Lone on one side and some notes on the other. Examine it. The tag on this skull has a serial number, and it says it was borrowed from the Submission Catacombs on February 19th, 1886. Geez, this thing is really late. It's 1887. It's not that late. Back of the tag has the Catacombs address on it. Discover new map location, old mission. Skulls, check them out. Handful of loose teeth. What is that good for? Perhaps you could sell them to a dental student. Okay, well, good to know. Increase your speed by 1 for the rest of the day. Increases muscle by 3 for the rest of the day. Can of stubby sausages made mostly of blood, and a syrup that is also made mostly of blood. Well, that sounds probably a little less appetizing now. Who's this Dave? Dave G. Murdered by a different fellow named Dave G. Must have been the other Dave G. Here lies Dave D. The truth was out there, and it killed him. Where was... Dave, how could you? Did you, like, send your 40 angry bears after him? So into the mausoleum we go. There's another pile of bones. Can I take things from it? Appears not. Okay, the plant doesn't do anything for me. One of those things... This is one of those things they have in mausoleums. You know, one of the big marble things with drawers full of skeletons. Let's leave them be for now, because I don't really feel a need to farm any more XP beyond what we've already got. Let's go down here and see what's going on. Oh boy. This seems like a problem. It's a big stone sarcophagus. This is a pile of mostly burned rags that maybe used to be a person? Maybe should we investigate this? Because that seems probably some kind of ritual circle drawn on the ground in red chalk. You know what? Let's farm some XP real quick. Let's fight one. Hit him with the hot damage. Skeleton of Dave Johnson. Gary Fu him. Thank you, Gary. XP, skeleton bone. Mysticality. Gumption do again. Spleen capacity, so that's good for more potions, which will probably become handy later on. And I can also up my maximum AP, which means I get to use my spell twice, so that's good. Let's do a whole bunch of them. Let's use that on the guy that looks like he has a board to hit people with. Gary, if you can Gary Fu that guy also, we'll stop him before he becomes a problem. Oh. Delton and Smart Dave Wayne gives Eagle Walker the Evil Eye using Mysticality for 7 spooky damage. Okay. I'm a little more concerned about the guy with the gun right now, so let's murder him. And Gary, finish him off. Hey, yeah. Thank you, Gary. If you could quit hitting me, I would appreciate that. Gary, if you would Gary Fu that guy, or no? We're on me right now. Cast that spell. Oh, looks like maybe we don't automatically regen. Skeleton bone, skull chips, hooray. Do we not? HP 40, AP 3, speed 3. So that's maximum. Where's current? I don't think he hit both of us, did he? Huh. Let's fight one more here so I can see. Okay, our health does regen. I didn't realize we both got hit that bad. And then Gary Fu. Okay. Now let's just upgrade a couple things here. Let's upgrade Mysticality again. Maybe a couple times. Or 3. Okay. Let's see. Let's investigate. Dig through the rags and find a few things that look like they're worth keeping. You got an item. Gore-splattered scroll. And human ashes. There's some kind of receipt here. Robe receipt. So, gore-splattered scroll. Scroll is almost too covered in blood and viscera to read. Lucky for you, you've gotten all that practice reading inside of a dog. Let's read it. You scrape the largest of the giblets off the scroll and read it. It says to take a pile of human ashes, spread them out in the shape of a person inside a red chalk ritual circle, and then sprinkle them with stardust, and place a mostly perfect or better glass sphere where the heart would be. Anyway, that's just gist of it. The actual text has a lot of these and thous and such as like that. Plus there's a bunch of weird gibberish you're supposed to say out loud while you're doing it. Okay. Robe receipt. This is a receipt for the delivery of 150 black silk robes. Sounds pretty ominous. Examine it. It's time you started gathering clues about the whole preambulating dead situation that's going on around these parts. You grab a notebook and a paperclip, and paperclip the receipt to the first page. Necromancer Journal. I should check that out. Necromancer Journal. This is a collection of the clues you've acquired in your search for the Necromancer's home base. You open your Necromancer Journal and examine the information you've collected so far. You've found a receipt for a delivery of robes. Looking at it more closely, you see that there's a surcharge for delivery past Boulder Pass. That means the Necromancer's lair is definitely west of the mountains. Good to know. Progress. Looks like everything you got so far. Alrighty. What else did we have? Human ashes. This is a human in the final stage of that whole ashes to ashes thing. Well, part of one at least. Human gets harder to keep track of when it's in powder form. Examine them. It's the cremated earthly remains of a person. Someday they'll refer to these as cremains, but you will not approve. Let's leave them alone for now because we don't have everything else we need in order to be able to do that, because I remember something about a glass orb and some other things. Is there anything else new? I don't believe so. Okay. So, do I have stuff for the ritual? Let's see. According to that gray scroll, you need human ashes, some stardust, and a glass sphere if you want to do the ritual. Okay. No glass spheres and no stardust yet, so we do need to leave. Let's keep going. There are going to be so many things to keep track of. And I assume that's going to be where we find the last part of the, whatever that guy's trying to put together. There's Old Mission, the Big Apple, and Fort All Dead. So I assume stuff north of the tracks is probably a little more difficult. Let's go ahead and stop at this point. I think this is going to be a good place to stop the stream. Mostly because I've probably got... Actually, I can see now. We've been live for about an hour and a half. So, in order to not have to sit around forever editing things, I'm going to go ahead and stop here. And we'll pick this back up where we left off. I feel like we didn't get much done, but we're out of Boring Springs. So that's the thing. We'll pick back up where we left off later. So thank you, Twitch, for stopping by. And YouTube, thank you also for stopping in and watching. And we'll see you guys in the next episode of West of Loathing. Bye.